live yesterday. I thought it would be live yesterday. Not going to lie to you. But all of a sudden yesterday, I would say, where did I put my phone now? That's a million, that's in front of me. It was a million and one question. Basically, I was very tired yesterday. I don't know what came over me. I came back. I don't know, it must have been just the weather, because when I just came back, it fucking bucketed rain. So I think it was just the weather got to me. Because I wasn't that tired all day, all yesterday, until I came home. Then I was very tired. So, don't know what happened. Either that or I got drugged or something. So, either one happened. Either I got drugged or I got shot or something like that happened. 2 seconds. So that's why there was no stream yesterday. So apologies for that. Hello, Sean Mack. I seen you there a second. So, how are we today? How was our Saturday going? Terrible amount of rain last night, wasn't it? And they say this is still the summertime, technically. Still technically the summertime at the moment. So, long time no see, indeed. I actually know, I think you were here the last time we were live, whenever that was, Tuesday, was it? I think you popped in for a second. But, yeah, I think it wasn't a Tuesday. I'm forgetting what day of the fucking week last live. What's Tuesday? It was either that or Wednesday. Can't remember now. See, the days just kind of fly by and I forget what day of the week it is, really. I often forget what day of the week it is. The only time I ever know is kind of, oh, it's work day. Well, go in the lobby or whatever. Take out the great big glory and hello, guys. How are you doing? How are we to see? How are we this Saturday night? Anyway, we won't be live for long. We'll probably only live at 9 o'clock, so probably just a half an hour or so. So yeah, not really anything too much going on at the moment. Kind of everything's just quiet, but nothing really major happening. Well, I could go on about hundreds of things. We don't answer. I could nearly write a book on some stuff. I could write the book on it. But yeah, I know. Apart from the weather yesterday, it was atrocious. Particularly last night, the wind was fucking atrocious. So it's a bit cleared up now, and there's not much rain. The small one was a good bit too, but not much around. So that was good. But no, I thought the wind was going to come through last night. I was one step keeping. I'm not too bad at it. But apart from that, I thought the wind and the rain last night was atrocious. I thought the window there was going to come through. Hello, Vin. How are you doing? What's been happening in Cavan? Well, only blah 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 blah. So the Ukrainians are moving into their new modular house next week, I think it is. So a lot of talk about that, obviously. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's the kind of main talk, I suppose, at the moment around the place. The other thing is too, this is interesting actually, it's about the local authority election next year. So first of all, it's going to be full of Sinn Féin, let's put it out. Sinn Féin there's about 6 candidates or 7 candidates going for Sinn Féin. There's going to be more Sinn Féin than there's any other party nearly won in the local authority election in Cavan. As I predicted, I knew this already, that there'd be more Sinn Féin candidates this year than there was any year. So it's most likely, and obviously, Marion Alkin, the Fine Gael TD that was here in Belturbel, the Cavan Municipal District, for the last nearly 20 years, she's given up her seat. She's calling it quits. So that's probably going to be a Sinn Féin seat. So a lot of stuff going to happen. So basically, the whole Celtic Council will be full of Sinn Féin, basically. That's just basically going to say it straight. There's not really any hope of anybody really getting in. It's crazy. Oh no, it's out in the Farnham Road. You don't need the hospital, Cavan General Hospital there. They've 32 houses. They cost €250,000 each. I think it was 10 million or something like that the price was. So yeah, no, that's what's happening at the moment. I talk more about that actually in a second because it's actually interesting to see about the local towers in the Anglo South. There, I was reading about it. Yeah, apart from that, they're talking too about, particularly on the border here. Like, obviously, down from Buttersbridge here, going towards Clover Hill, you cross over the border 5 times into the Republic, into Northern Ireland. Into the Republic, into Northern Ireland. You cross 5 times because it's kind of weird borders down that direction. And there's a lot of people bywasters, you would call them, and they do donuts in the middle of the road and stuff like that. And basically no man's land between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. So, and it's dangerous obviously because it's in the main road. And so they're talking about getting a special place, a special area, so people can do their donuts and night and that. Yeah, but there was council land. The land that they built the houses on, it's beside the hospital there. But there is house in the States beside it, yet they are private. But the council had the land. They had it for years, and they were going to do it up into a house in the States, like the other house in the States around it. But the council decided to build the houses there, the sort of the modular homes. So it was technically owned by the council. It was the council land. So for years, you ask anybody, for years that site was marked for social housing. But when Ukraine happened, they were like, we're going to use this for modular homes, which is what's happened at the moment. Yeah, it's about 250,000 euro each. Yeah, it's about that. Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. It's about that. It's about that. Because there was a freedom of information request put in, and I looked into it myself. So it's just about that. It's just about that. And then obviously you talk about concrete and tarmac and different things and different expenses paying the people to build them, etc., etc., etc. Driveways. You're looking at a hefty cost, about 10 million or so for 22 homes. And then just doing up the sites, putting new water maintenance and electricity, getting it connected it to the Born Island. It kind of adds up. So that's what's happened. So even though you can nearly build a house for 250,000, and these are only kind of prefab, but they are modular homes and stuff like that. So, how many have been built? 22. 22 have been built. They're talking about building more in Cavan at one stage, but it hasn't gone forward yet. I haven't heard anything about it. They're talking about up some other side of the country, not in the town area, but some other part of the country. But again, it hasn't been. They haven't got the green light for it. Well, I don't think they will probably get the green light because there's a lot of people are giving a fuck about the houses near the hospital, the 22 houses. So a lot of people are not too happy about it. So it might not go through. But we have to see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can nearly build a whole brick and mortar house. I know that's a bit too too over the top, but it's about that. It's about that because there was a freedom of information request, and I've seen documents to say that it was that. I don't know. I don't know who's being put into them now. I haven't looked into that, but they're started from next week, so I probably would hear more about it from next week on, because they are going into it. I think sometime next week. I don't have a date. I know about it. I heard about it. So, but I won't know more until you hear about it. I suppose. So we have to wait and see, I suppose. Yeah, obviously it would cost a bit more the brick and mortar. It would cost a bit more. That's been a bit over the top because it would probably cost like one council, like the build homes here in Buttersbridge, social houses here in Buttersbridge, back a while, about 6 of them here, and they spent something like 1.2 million on brick. These are brick and mortar houses now, but they're good quality houses. They're done well building them. So they were good, and they done one house up too. So. Hello everyone, hello Shawnee. Yeah, but just what to talk to about the Cavan homelessness figures was talked about there a few weeks ago. So last year there was 7 people technically classed as homeless in Cavan. Now it's 17, so it's gone up a good bit. But a lot of them people too, the council do have them in hotels, so at least they're not on the streets. The council are paying for them to be in hotels. The people on the streets. Now, I will say, I've talked about this before, I said about it. There's one or two around the town, as you see in all the towns in the country nearly, that are pretending, they're basically begging and they have a place, That's what I'm trying to say. So they have a place and they're looking for more money of people. Yeah, it's a nice area. Yeah, it's a smaller place, but that's what I'm saying. But yeah, no, we're not too bad technically in terms of the homeless figures. Um, you know. Oh no, but it definitely is the figures because I've seen the documents to say it is that. You know, the expenses what the council are paying for the hotels. I've seen that in front of me, that it is 17 or so. That it is that because the council are paying for them to put in the hotel. You know, and they're putting apartments. They're paying for it. So that's what's going on. And they're not Ukrainians or anything. They're technically citizens of the country. Because it doesn't, it's not classified as Ukrainian, so and that's classified as citizens, I suppose. So it's not that bad. But again, last year was 7, just to say. Now it's 17. So it's a good job. It's a good job. Oh, but yeah, technically they're classed as homeless, but that's what I'm saying. Technically they're classed as homeless. That they're waiting on the housing list, and that it's an emergency accommodation. That's what they're trying to. That's what they're kind of classing it as. So they're kind of adding that in as homelessness, because if they didn't have an apartment that the council are paying for or a hotel, they would be on the streets. Technically. So that's what's happening at the moment. Because if they wouldn't in a hotel and the council were paying for it and stuff, they would have to sleep on the streets. So technically, they would be classed as homeless. Because that's what it says in the document. This kind of they are classed as homeless, even though they're not on the streets. But still kind of a class as emergency accommodation. With these people if they're not in a hotel, they could be on the street. Let's put it that way. Well, it definitely they would be on the street if they didn't have it. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I was homeless. Yeah, but not really. Like if you're going on a holiday, take for example, you're not really classed as homeless. But these people have nowhere else to go, so it's either they're put into an apartment or something like that. Like emergency accommodation, you see it in Dublin all the time too. That the councils put them into emergency accommodation hotels and stuff like that to get them off the street, I suppose. Let's put it that way. So, because it technically would be emergency, because Cavan has not really a designated place for emergency accommodation, so it's just basically to use hotels and stuff. If that makes any sense, I don't know if it makes any sense. But anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is it's worrying that the numbers have increased a good bit. Let's put it that way. That the numbers have increased from 7 to 17. It's worrying. It is worrying. But I will say there's one or two around the town that are people that are in an apartment do have money and stuff like that. Uh, you know, and they are pretending they have an apartment and stuff like that. They're kind of looking for money off people, which is totally wrong. Even though they have some place. To go back, I actually don't know. I don't really know. It seems like a permanent affair, to be totally honest. I don't think they would have brought about them for a short while, let's put it that way. So I say that whoever's going into it's going to stay there. I don't think that's ever going to change, unfortunately. Yeah, they can do that, yeah. There's a loophole like that can do it. But yeah. But yeah, I want to go back and talk about the local authority election next year. Now, it's either going to be in June or July. Oh, live, yeah, exactly. But let me see, I'll find this thing now. But yeah, that's just the biggest news kind of happening at the moment. Because it's actually interesting to see with this now. And if we can find the second election next year, uh, nobody's going to have a hope because it'll be all just Sinn Féin. Because going by what's happening at the moment, two TDs elected to all, and they got overwhelmingly elected, they got more votes than anybody else. Uh, it's not going to look busting for anybody else, especially because Sinn Féin, it's very interesting what they've done in Cavan particularly. They went to the young people. They went to a lot of young people and got a lot of young people involved in Sinn Féin. And the young people like, I want a house and I want this. And Fianna Fáil and Fianna Gael is like, fuck you, you're not going to get anything. You have to go to Australia if you want something. Right. Sinn Féin's like, we're going to give everybody a house. We're going to give everybody this. Don't worry where it's going to come from, where the money's for it. But we're going to give everybody a house. We're going to put perfectly other people first, before Irish people, obviously. But, we're going to give everybody a house. And straight away, everybody's like, hell yeah, vote Sinn Féin. So that's what's going to happen. So it's not looking possible. So yeah, I talked about this. So as I say, so it's less than 12 months obviously into the local town election next year. Um, so first of all, obviously, I don't know really where to start, I suppose, from here. Like, first of all, there's a young woman in Kingscourt hoping to go for Sinn Féin in Kingscourt, take for example. And then there's a man in Cavan Inn. I've heard of him before. I'm not going to say his name, but I've heard of him before. Uh, and most likely he's going to get elected straight away. Because in the Cavan Inn municipality, not really anybody tops the poll with many votes. They don't really exceed the threshold in the first count. They don't really get huge votes. They maybe might get 500 maybe over the count, but they wouldn't get huge. They wouldn't overwhelmingly get. It'd take a few counts before some of them get in. So obviously there's 18 seats. I think it's going to be kept at 18 seats anyway. I don't think it's going to change. So yeah, as I said about Madeleine now, and not many people probably would hold it, but many people probably have heard of Fianna Gael before. She's been a councillor for about 20 years, 25 years, maybe 30 years at this stage. She's in this area, she's in the Cavan Inn, but she's going to step down. So obviously that should be a seat that will probably go to Sinn Féin straight away, to be totally honest. It's not really likely that anybody else could take her place, I suppose, let's put it apart from Sinn Féin. Because Melanie Narkin did do always kind of did do well in Fianna Gael in this area. She kind of always would get the amount of votes within the second count, right? She would always get elected, right? She wouldn't get in the first count, but she'd get in the second count. Does that make sense? She still would get a good few thousand votes. Let's put that way. In the first count and stuff, but she wouldn't get enough to be elected as a councillor. So she had to wait for the second count, and then obviously votes being moved around and stuff like that. So that's going to have a seat open in that area. So I don't know. People probably like, what the fuck are you on about? But yeah, Sinn Féin have loads of money too. So they literally have the whole coppers full of money. And I don't see where it's going to be used, but So yeah, we have to see about that anyway. But going by what I'm seeing here, I'm trying to find them. Like, I already knew in effect that Sinn Féin were going to have a fuck ton of candidates everywhere. Like, Sinn Féin are just going to throw the whole place with so many candidates. Well, there probably will be a Will Independence, Will Farmers Party, so they most likely will. Just give me a second. We're talking about maybe actually 7 Sinn Féin councils for the 3 municipalities going for Cavan County Council. 7. for 18 seats. Imagine if Sinn Féin got 7 out of 18 seats. Think about that for a second. That's a huge majority of the seats, because there's 18 seats to fill in the local authority and the 3 municipal authorities. So 7, it might be more actually, because it's not over until it's said. So 7 out of 18 seats, which is most likely they're going to just run away with it. Like, let's be fair, there's not going to be hope basically. So obviously there's one person that was he's still a councillor, obviously, Councillor Paddy McDonald in Ballygym stuff over that direction. He's always been a councillor for Cavan. He's the only Sinn Féin councillor as we speak now in Cavan County Council, because the rest of them got voted out last local authority election, got hammered. But this time they're going to run away with it. So, and then obviously you have Daniel Downing too. I know Daniel Downing, he was a Sinn Féin. He'd be for Cavan Beltoba too. So there'll be 2 Cavan Beltoba TD, like, councillors in this area that I know of. I don't know where the rest, and then the Kingscourt, the McInerney lady, she's in Kingscourt. So, don't know Noah Collins, no. Don't know who he is. He's in Sinn Féin anyway. I don't know which area he's in. Yeah, but people just think Sinn Féin is just the opposite of everything, because there is very, people before profit and things like that are going to want a TD in Cavan, but there's very little interest in the Labour Party or Sinn Féin, and not Sinn Féin, sorry, people before profit or other parties. But there's a young lad from Ballyhills to my hometown, not Buzzbridge obviously, but where I was born, I suppose, in Ballyhills, that's going for Sinn Féin. But the Sinn Féin, what they did in Ballyhills too was very good. They got a lot of the young people involved in the youth groups of Sinn Féin. So there's a huge amount of people involved in the Sinn Féin in that part of Cavan. So So yeah, it's going to be probably a walk in the park for them. But there is an independent that is. It can run and find things. So. If I could find it. So there is a. Yeah, I probably shouldn't go there, to be totally honest. I'd probably be better not to go there. We don't have to go there. But no, Sinn Féin is just going to run away with this authority, because they've done a lot of on-the-ground work. What I mean by that is encouraging young people to vote them in. So they've done a lot, and I've seen it in post, and they have done it. They tried to do it with me too, to try and get them back into Sinn Féin, and it didn't go well for them. So because I was in with them before, I supported them before. I'm not going to do it again, so I'm not going near them with a 10-foot pole. So they kind of know that, so that's why they're not bothered to go near me and try and. Well, they done it, they tried it, but they didn't get anywhere with it. To be pro Sinn Féin, as they would say. That's usually the word they use, to be pro Sinn Féin. And, I don't know what they would want me. So, probably better to stay away. But an interesting thing, if I could find it. So I talked about this before, as you know, about what's happening in Kintill and County Cavan at the moment, the protests, and they're talking about using the White Horse in Kintill, the former hotel, to house Ukrainians in the White Horse, mostly men, obviously. And obviously people in the town are not very happy. That's what they have formed a group. They always have a mouth twist trying to say this. The Kintill Concerned Group, Community Group, and they most likely are going to put it forward, a TD and a councillor for their respected local authority, which is the Kintill Bayable Municipal Authority. So we have to see about that. It hasn't been confirmed yet that they will do it, but going by what I'm hearing, and they most likely will do it. It's for one of the authority elections, most likely the council elections, obviously. But I don't know, to be totally honest. That's what I'm hearing on the ground. But we have to see. So they probably would do very well in that area, in the I keep mixing. Can tell Bailey about how you couldn't speak there for a second. I was getting mixed up between Bailey and Berto, but too much. Um, so yeah, there's the People Before Profit TD has confirmed that he is going. He did go in the last election. Sorry, excuse me. He's not ruled himself out, so he might go and he mightn't go. I suppose. So we'll see. But he People Before Profit, in particular Labour, but there's not a word of Labour. Labour doesn't exist in County Cavan. They've just been annihilated out of the county. There's not one Labour supporter between them. But there's a Labour. It was a Labour man that did go for the local authority, but I think Labour was just annihilated. That has to be seen yet, so say nothing until you hear more yet. As I say, December, it'll be over for it. But yeah, so that's basically People for Profit and stuff like that. But I'm not going to talk about one of the candidates in the one for the local authority. Probably best not to mention. So obviously N22, which is I'm happy. I'm kind of very biased here, I suppose, straight off the bat. So I'm very biased in this kind of regard because the N2 has done a good bit in the County Cavan. I'm not going to say they've done a lot. That's what particularly the one councillor. Have one councillor in Cavan. She has done a lot. So Councillor Sarah White, she has indicated, I think, that she's going to win in the local authority, and then she probably will try and go for the general election. Couldn't speak. I couldn't think there what election would happen. I was going to say the European Parliament at one stage. But yes, that's what she would do. So obviously good news there. But there's another councillor going to go for Ballygym stuff, and that's Conley McPhillips too. That's going for his councillor for Ballygym stuff from Municipal Authority. So hopefully she get into. So no, because the N2 has done a lot in Cavan. I'm not going to say they haven't done anything. So I'm a bit biased. Not going to lie to you. But we have to see. That all has to be revealed in December about me. So we see. Let's put it that way. You have to wait and see. Say nothing to hear more. Let's put it that way. But what I'm trying to say is, if I'm, when I go for the local authority, if it's not confirmed, I won't confirm or deny about plans in the works. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to have a fierce hard time with Sinn Féin in the local authority elections. It's going to be neck and neck. So it's going to be very big clashes. That's what I think. It's going to be World War V. So what I'm trying to say is, it's going to be war. We're not war necessarily, but it's going to be a tough battle if it does come to be. We have to wait and see. But so yeah, I don't know, does that make any sense at all? I know some people are like, what the fuck, who's this councillor? Who's that? I never heard him in my life. So. But yeah, there's probably going to be one or two independents along if I do go again, if the word is if. So there'll be one or two independents. There's one independent as we speak on the county kids out of the 18 seats, and that's Brendan Fay. I was going to say Noel Fay, but it's Brendan Fay. I don't know why I was thinking of Brendan Noel Fay. I don't know why. So. Yeah, we just play a multiplayer game or something. I know we're getting our finance from the SDLP. Thankfully, they're sending over a few bob to help in the campaign. It's actually hard to know. Last year, I think was how much? No, not last year, obviously, but the last election. I think it was 2,000 or something. You need to get 2,000, and obviously there's transfers and stuff like that. So I think it's 2,000 for this area. It depends on the area's population and things like that, I think. So I think it's 2,000 for here, the Cavan Inn, but I think you need 2,000 votes. And obviously there's transfers, and when people are annihilated, their votes get transferred over to you, and things like that happens. So, you know, I think it's different in in the other municipalities. Might be a bit different. It might be 1,000 or something like that, but it's less than a TD. Usually the TDs ones are higher thresholds. You need to get 20,000 or something like that votes, post preference votes or whatever, to get elected. Because obviously it's a bigger area. Yeah, compared to the TDs ones, there's nothing. Like take for example Cavan Monaghan for Dáil I'm talking about, and then a bit of Mead too is added on to that. A bit of Mead West is onto it. So, you know, you're talking about 20,000 votes. If you were going for a TD, you need to get 20,000 probably first preference votes. And then obviously there's transfers and stuff like that, but it's a bigger threshold for obviously Dáil, but still it's a lot less compared to the Dáil one. But that's unless they changed it for the Beltobad one, but that's what it was last year. It was about 2,000 that you need. And obviously when the councils get eliminated, take for example somebody has 500 votes, they go to, you know, that. Yeah, well nobody first preference votes. Yeah, but I don't think she topped over the Healy Ways kind of top. Actually, no, I tell a lie. There was a Sinn Féin candidate that got elected there, number one, and then the Healy Ways came after that, and I think number 40 came next. Because the Healy Ways, obviously everybody fucking votes the Healy Way. Everybody's fucking voting Healy Ways. And I try to change my name to Healy Way, I get a voted in. They're going to get voted in regardless of what happens in Kerry, because they're just going to get voted in anyway. Let's be fair. So Danny Healy-Way, I think, go on stage. He only put his name forward a few hours before the election, and so he ran away with it. They run away with it like this. Healy-Way's all over the place down in Kerry. Yeah, things have changed a lot now. It's in the early 90s. Things have changed since the early 2000s for me, so things have changed a lot. But nobody in their right mind come the general election is going to say, I'm going to vote Norma Foley number one. Like, whoever says that is kind of lost the plot. But the reason why number Foley too got elected in Kerry, because she got a lot of pro-life. Before, she never really was clear before she went for Dáil that she was either pro-life or against, X, Y, and Z abortion or whatever. And a lot of pro-life people supported them. And then obviously when she got into Dáil, she showed that she doesn't give a shit about it. But her father, the only thing anybody ever said about her father was that her father had a bit of he had money lying in his account before he moved it on, right? That he had money stored in the Caribbean Islands, obviously in the foreign bank account. So that's all there was ever talked about her father. Her father kind of had very underwhelming things to do with anything. So, but I pity you, Shawnee, if you wanted to be in Kerry. Imagine having Norma Foley as your TD too. So think about that. Imagine seeing that face, like that kind of. Where was that fucking thing? Hopefully it was burned at the stake. Where is the one? Probably lost. Lost it. That's the time. Find it out. I think it's in the back here somewhere. Like, imagine having that face stare you down. Like, imagine having that face stare you down. You get an election campaign ad or something like that in your letterbox and opening that on a Monday morning. That would shortly frighten you. Or imagine going along the street and seeing that election poster everywhere. Like, you'd be terrified. Like, I'd be mortified if I went to work and seen that every day. Or, if I seen that on the poll, I'd be terrified. Like, literally imagine seeing that. And then imagine how actually called to your house looking for votes. Like, you'd be scarred for life. I think if you had any children in the house too, they probably would run in fear. That could be the most terrifying experience ever. So, Danny Healy and stuff like that are good TDs then. As I said, I bought Mikey Healy-Ray's book once, his autobiography, which was €20 just to say. I had to spend €20 Cavan Inn. But yeah, no, it was good because he has dyslexia the same as me, and look where we got to. He owns a lot of businesses in Kerry and he's a TD and things like that. So he's done well. So, tangent over about Norman Foley. I'm gonna phase this channel into the Norman Foley hate channel after when the election's going on. Obviously, that, as you do, obviously, that makes sense, Johnny. Kerry is a great county. Well, it's not great since Norman Foley's been there. Since Norman Foley has toned up, it's kind of brought Kerry down a good bit. That's the truth. But no, it's good, Kerry. It's a lot of natural, good scenery and stuff. Even though Tralee at the moment, you wouldn't get a hotel room in Tralee for love of money, because it's all being used for Ukrainians. You wouldn't get a hotel in it. What in the name of God is that channel? Oh yeah, you can link it, yeah, as long as it's not a fire or anything like that, obviously. But yeah, you can link away, yeah, as long as it's not, because I often had people just wickroll people on the stream. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm sure it's just what you're saying. That actually happened a few times. People were wickroll, people put links in the chat, and it was a wickroll, and they're furious. So, that's probably what's going to happen now. Yeah, Clare was nice too, and I always have to go to the Cliff and Moor sometime. In Clare. I wish I were back home in Derry. Also, yeah, about the Bank of Ireland shenanigans. The ATMs are looked after in Dublin, let's put that way. Nobody will put ATM in Dublin, let's put that way. They'd be well protected, the ATMs. Even though I can't say about Cavan, because let's be fair, Cavan has a reputation of ATMs going missing, let's put that way. Or a big hole in the wall that's not there. Stay in capital in Killarney. So yeah, oh no, but it is a disgrace. Going back to the Bank of Ireland thing, it was a disgrace first of all that the Guards were set out to basically babysit the fucking bank machines. Even though people could say, you shouldn't, you shouldn't basically steal money that you don't have. You could argue that is in more ways, but you would probably class it against it. I suppose it's hard to know, would it be theft or would it be what it would be. To get the job done, are you? And the only man that did go and do the work, the rest of them are dropped dead if they had to do a bit of work. And that wouldn't be nice. As Michael Healy said one time, which I thought was hilarious about the Labour Party. Yeah. They're lucky they're TDs. If they weren't TDs, they wouldn't be able to do anything. They'd be on the dole. So. I take a few, I have a few brown envelopes already, so, and they come from a certain Finland, so, I don't think I need any envelopes from any Irish organisations, NGOs and things like that. I think I'm happy enough with the SDLP's money, thank you very much. So I'm very happy with that money. It's bigger brown envelopes than it is now. I wish, but corruption 2.0. Where's Radio Television Sherman when you want them? They have to do a hit piece on me about taking money from Finland to stable Irish democracy. Imagine that now. I could actually imagine RT1 in a story like that in the morning. This man here is trying to disrupt Irish democracy. He's working for worse than Russia. He's working for Finland. He's accepting bribes from Finland to sabotage the Irish local authority election. It'll be a big hit piece. It's the far right. It's the far right that's doing it. So you could imagine OT doing that. White hand floats, exactly. Originally. Cycling forest. Aye, pretty much than anyhow. Hold on a second. The money was there before I happened to move it on to another account. That money was just less than my account, I'm trying to say. So, but a lot of people are going to get a great shock. I know a person that had an account in Bank of Ireland, and he was doing the shenanigans that he did, that everybody did on the other day whenever the fucking thing happened. And he emptied his bank account, right, and put all the money into a different account, and then took it out of the other account, took 1,000 that he didn't have. And yeah, the Bank of Ireland said them a thing, said, you have to pay back our money now, please, thank you. So he's kind of fucked. He had to kind of pay back. So it's not free money. Everybody that kind of did it the bank's going to fuck you over some way. So it's not possible for people with free money. Sorry, my throat is going. Found the TED reference right there. The money was just vested in my account. Make you pay interest, yeah, probably he does. But he has to pay back what he took out already, first of all. And he probably charge him interest. But it would affect his credit rating. Like, say if he wants a mortgage in the morning, or he wants to take out a loan, they probably wouldn't give it to him. Let's put it that way. But yeah, they probably would have sued him if he didn't give it back. That's probably what they're going to do, is sue people and take their property and everything off them if they don't give the money back. You know, because the banks are the worst people you can mess with in the country. It's the banks. The banks will literally fuck you over in every way possible if you don't do what they want. They're the biggest. Well, I can't say the biggest criminal gang in the country, because in Garda Síochána are kind of getting there. You know, nearly, as Maurice McCabe said, they're the biggest criminal gang in the country in Garda Síochána, which is very good to hear by the police force, isn't it? But yeah, so they're the kind of the third biggest gang in the country. The second best priest. I say you're the second best priest in the country. So on Garda Síochána are the second best criminal gang in the country. Found a TED reference again. The second best quote. The second best. Found a TED reference. The second best priest. Also, do you want to hear? I don't know. Were you here the other day when I was talking about? Do you remember the streamer that went to? I showed it on stream a few months ago. I think Cavan Inn was here at the time. He went around the Gala stations and filmed. He came over from England and filmed around the Gala stations and stuff like that. Do you remember that film? Make Cavan great again, not Ireland. That's my slogan. Get me hat on. But do you remember that fellow, Sean? I don't know if you remember. I think Cavan Inn was here when I was talking about it the other day. But basically, long story short, yeah, going around the station. I don't know that I think I said about it the other day. But yeah, so when he came over to Ireland, obviously, and he done his own thing in England and things like that, right? And just one time he happened to be going around the police station, right? And the police kind of were like, we're going to search under the towers and that, right? First of all. And they found a load of weed and drugs in his backpack. How about that? So he was got for drug possession and large quantity of it. It was a big lot now, wasn't it? And then they found more in his apartment. So he's gone to prison for 6 years, along with a few other offences too. And get this, he had a he was suing so many police forces for wrongfully arresting him for filming them on police stations and stuff like that. That it was ridiculous. It was about something like 50 or maybe more police departments, like Suffolk Police and Greater Manchester Police and stuff like that. He was suing them for wrongful detainment or wrongful search because he was filming a police station where it's a public building, right? So he was making a killing out of it too. So he won't be out for a long time because the police kind of probably just wanted to throw him in prison anyway. So he won't be coming back to Ireland anytime soon, I don't think. Yeah, that's going to be my money was just wasted in my account before I moved it on, and I'm only smuggling Christmas jumpers during Christmas. So don't arrest me at any other time but Christmas. No, don't arrest me at all. Thank you. Aye, that was about right. He's in prison now. But there was another YouTuber from England that did the same thing as him, came over to Ireland about a few months ago too. So there's another YouTuber done the same thing as him. Oh yeah, he was arrested in Northern Ireland. He was arrested in Northern Ireland. He went up to some Belfast or something, and he annoyed the PSNI up there. And he was arrested. Guess what he was arrested for? They got him for. They were arrested him for jaywalking. So, but I think more or less they were just he was annoying the police, and they just decided to arrest him for jaywalking. Even though I don't even know, in British law, can you be arrested? I don't even think it's a favour in Irish law to be arrested for jaywalking. That's the arrest for Northern Ireland. Some other fellow now, I'm talking about the original fellow. That's what I did. Oh, he's firing lasers. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's firing lasers. Yeah, that's right. Oh, but not older than Britain. No, that's a different fellow. The other fellow I'm talking about, they came over to Ireland. It wasn't older than Britain. They came over to Ireland. He's another YouTuber that does it. But it wasn't him because he's still on the go. It's another YouTuber, Kibog or whatever, Kimbog or whatever he's called. But you know. But no, this was in Northern Ireland now. He's arrested for the PS9. Oh, they might be arresting him for the laser stuff. Again, I thought it was jaywalking he was arrested for. Maybe it was the lasers. I actually have to look that up. I have to fact check. Where's the community notes when you want them? I seen it briefly there a few days ago. And I was like, I thought he said jaywalking. But maybe it was the laser. He could be right there and on. Yeah, it was him that was arrested. He was the one that was arrested, not Alden than Britain. I need to find this now. Yeah, so his name is this was him. That's his channel. That's the fellow you were talking about there, Sean. He's in prison at the moment. He's in prison in drug possession. He's doing 6 years. So he's not going to get out anytime soon. No, it wasn't him. I think you were getting. So there's a YouTuber called Alden Yorkshire, right? And he went to Talagala Station, yeah. Yeah, he was at the US Embassy too. Trying to find where. Yeah, it might have been him in Belfast, yeah. I'm just trying to figure that out now. Like, I've seen these videos here, he's talking about. Yeah, he was at Talaga. So there's a lot of these channels just kind of about. So it can get confusing the who's who. But he basically, the fellow that I showed Dale, he was done it beforehand. Now where the fuck is this thing? No, I can't find the fucking thing. Now I can't find it. Maybe they took it down. I don't know. I might have took it down. Yeah, well, that fella, I don't know how you. It's Kolebeoks. That's his name of his channel. So they were at what they call Albert Hill Prison. I think that's down some part of the country. And they were filming. I'll show you this snippet. This is from out of the Yorkshire now.
There's no the gates are going to open now.
So they're filming in prison. Which I obviously take, it probably would be against the law going around filming in a prison.
You're going to take the van in or not?
No.
Sure they are, look.
Like, I definitely think to be fucking.
You don't? No.
Huh?
You. You identify yourself.
I'm 527.
Mike,
Did you just say spastic? Did you just say spastic? Do you think because you work for the government that
no, we've got
you're exempt from public order, do you?
the public servant.
Remember the public.
But I laugh the way they come over here and they're like, "You're a public servant. You serve. You know they don't pay taxes here. Like that's the funniest part. I wouldn't mind if I went and done that. I'd be like, I'm paying taxes, which I am paying. I'm paying it. I could be the tax here. Everything I buy and things like that's taxed, and obviously my wages are taxed at the end of the week and stuff like that. So I could literally be like, fair enough, but these people have maybe buy a thing or two, but they can't say they pay their taxes, the public servants, because at the end of the day, they're not really serving them, or they're not really only serving people that are in the country who are paying tax.
Well, I remember the public is spastic.
I don't care what you say.
Gentlemen,
touch
you're
me.
on prison service property. Please leave now immediately.
Well, your colleagues just committed a public order
Leave the
offence.
property. You're on prison service property. I'll ask you to leave.
Your colleagues just committed a public
No,
order
we're in
offence.
charge of this area.
Prison
The guards
service,
are on their way. The guards are on
The
their way.
guardy.
Yeah, they're just trying to wind the cops up. Like at the end of the day, that's kind of the aim, to get arrested, to get falsely arrested and sue. Like that's what that YouTuber too. He had so many proceedings put against the police for wrongful arrest, wrongful search and stuff like that. And it turned out when they did search him one time, he had loads of drugs on him. So it kind of fucked him. I don't think he was good. Thought he would get searched. I think the cop was just seeing him film. It was just like straight away and searching you under the terrorism act. But I do think obviously your Gala decision is a bit different. But for you in a prison, and you never know what I'm saying they could use it to get out, find a way. Film it to try and find how they could get the person in prison out, or they could use for hostile recons and so on. So I can understand the prison. I can see why they'd be a bit up in the head with the prison.
The guardy have the power to move us.
Please do so now.
Do you have the powers of a guard? Do you have the powers of a guarder?
You're on prison service property.
Do you have the same powers as a guarder?
You're prison service property.
Do you have the same powers as a guarder?
Property, remove you from it.
Do you have the same powers as a guarder?
Not a project guard.
So the guarder
Defend
can ask
ourselves.
us. The guarder can give us a directive to leave.
We won't defend ourselves.
The guarder can give us a directive to leave.
Gentlemen,
We won't defend ourselves.
On guard, it's a corner. It's directed to the
you're not allowed filming here without permission.
Yeah, I can.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
It's a public building. It says no mobile phones beyond this point.
Prison service
So it's
property.
beyond that point. So we've obeyed all the signs.
Okay, the guard are on.
We've obeyed all the signs.
No place for
We've obeyed all the signs.
No place for prison.
We've obeyed all the signs.
Gentlemen, please leave the area. I'm being given instruction.
We've obeyed
You're
all
on
the
prison
signs.
service property. You're not allowed to film here without permission.
Have you got permission?
Public building, isn't it?
Have you got permission to film
Public
here?
building.
But I wouldn't mind a Gowler station. You could argue it's a public building, but let's be fair, a prison. You know, you're kind of just looking for trouble, you know, going around filming prisons. You know, let's be fair, you are kind of going around looking for trouble. Like, what fucking interest is a prison? You know, then the cops turn up. So, we just watch this bit. React. Also, everybody's on about reactors. We're kind of just reacting to it. But I'm just kind of making a point, you know, just using it as a point. So, you know.
Hyundai. Garda.
Oh dear.
Oh, wrong window. How you doing, chaps? All right?
What's the right,
Sorry?
What seems to be the issue?
No issue at all.
No issue, man. No issue with the prison. Partner, man.
Apart, yes, one of the prison staff was calling us derogatory terms, called me a spastic, called him an idiot.
When was this? About 10 minutes
So
ago.
yeah, about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, called us retard. Yes, not a retard, spastic.
Spastic.
Move it on a bit, hang on.
I will let you chaps know.
Well, until your access is removed anyway. Until your implied access is removed.
Yeah, it's a red sign there saying, like, no one authorised being
It's a driving purpose.
You can take it that
Pedestrians also.
that includes non-authorised personnel.
Okay, well, thanks for clarifying that.
That's no problem.
So.
The assumption would be that
yes.
well, just because you're not in the vehicle, it doesn't mean it's okay to walk. You get me? It's
No, that's fine. I'm not being funny.
it's just it's just assumed that you would make the assumption.
Yeah.
Because you can't drive in there, you also can't walk in there.
Oh,
Just
that's fair.
authorized personnel in general.
Yeah.
Be going through.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. I can accept that. I apologise to them for that.
Yeah. I should see if I can find this with the PSNI, just to fact check it. But yeah, I don't know why we react Andes. No, but it's just kind of what the show. And that. So. I don't know what they do it in America, because the pipe would be shot if they done it in America. Oh yeah, I got detained on the... Yeah, I got detained on the JSA 2007. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, I found it. Fact check us. But let's be fair, I wouldn't mess around much with the PS9 now. Whatever but in Gaudish in the corner. You know, you wouldn't piss off the PS9 that much, because they would just probably do the West End. I don't know what... So this is the PS9. This is what I thought. So it says he was the west of a jaywalking, but in the title, but I don't know. It might have been west of a laser, but actually it might have been. Let me find it out.
Taking a chance here today. Yeah, honestly.
Might not have been, I don't really know. It's hard to know, really.
I can buy them online. Right. What's your name, number, please?
Get this on film.
And maybe he wasn't giving them his name and number. It was obviously.
Have you got a wee number? Okay. I got a number? Yeah. Shoulder number.
Right, so basically, guys.
Well, sir, I can't read. What's your number, sir? Shoulder number. 160.
But they love the way too, they're all covered up, like the face and everything's all covered up, the people that are filming it too. If I was a cop, I'd be like, this is pretty sus, you know. If you were going to film, why would you not show your whole face, you know? It's pretty sus too. You know, just saying, you know, if I was a cop straight away, I'd probably turn up these people up to no good, you know.
Let's have some ID, okay? We need your details.
Which chapter, which section are you acting under? Which chapter, which section are you acting under?
Arrest you for jaywalking?
So like he says jaywalking. Like you hear him say jaywalking. He's under arrest for jaywalking. So that's how I took it up. I don't know, he was arrested, unless he was arrested for not giving his name. But he definitely said jaywalking, you know.
If you don't answer arresting for jaywalking.
Someone should get around.
Arresting for jaywalking? Are you serious?
I've been wrong to give you the details, sir.
Are you serious?
Yes, I will. Yes.
Okay,
Serious.
serious.
Right. You must put that
You haven't even asked which actor, which section it is.
Put pressure on that, sir.
Any pressure on
Touch my stuff here. You don't touch my camera. Be resisting. Camera, mate. Be resisting.
You haven't even asked which actor. You haven't even said which actor, which section you're arresting.
Not resisting. Stop resisting. There you go.
Your account video on stage is
For evidential purposes. For evidential purposes for what?
oh no, but before we came.
Just from us, I'm a bit interested.
You definitely heard him say, I just wanted to check, you definitely heard the cop say jaywalking. I definitely heard it. I knew I heard it. Yeah, that's probably in Belfast. It probably might be, yeah, well, in Belfast, yeah. But definitely he said jaywalking. I don't think he said, I don't know what the offence is for not giving your name and address. Unless they deem you committed a crime. You know, that really say to show that you committed a crime. But yeah, definitely was jaywalking. So I did that what they were doing. But he definitely said I'm arresting a different section for jaywalking or something. Or some kind of. He didn't say the public order. He could arrest him on the public order act. So yeah, there. But it must be a crime then, unless I don't know, because unless he's making stuff up. But that was in Belfast, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what the people think of that. But I don't think they could arrest in this country for jaywalking. Like in Ireland, like in the Republic of Ireland, like they look well, the girls trying to arrest them for jaywalking. And there's people murdering each other in Dublin, they would arrest them and doing drugs in the West. Well, they probably would, to be totally honest. We've seen literally people with the bike machines, they wanted to get money out and stuff like that. And the girls were like, no, we arrest you. You know, they were quick to do that, and then somebody being beaten up in the other side of Dublin, they're fucking like, oh, we don't care. We actually have to do something. Strange old country. Western the Public Order Act. So what does people think of that, being arrested for jaywalking? Progress to see police arresting someone for jaywalking. I know, but I don't know if it's a law. I know it's probably been law in some places in America. But I don't know about Northern Ireland and England, that's what I'm saying. So I kind of don't get that. That's a bit confusing. It definitely is not law in the Republic of Ireland, jaywalking. To 40 years ago, right? I'm arresting you for jaywalking. Imagine that now. Imagine if I go outside the door tomorrow and the cop's like, here, bye! You've been arrested for jaywalking. And somebody's getting mugged down the street and the cop's like, no. I think it is, yeah. I think technically it is begging. I think it technically it's somewhere in the law that you really can't beg, I don't think. Because you need, like, let's be fair, a charity, take for example Everoney. We done a bucket collection there for the Tidy Towns a few weeks ago, right? And we had to put in the permit and what was for, why we were collecting the money, take for example, first of all. We needed to put a permit into the on Galway Street in the content in the town, the Galway station in the town. We needed to send it to the superintendent saying we wanted the permit to collect money as a charity, you know, to be allowed to collect the money, because we couldn't just turn up and say we want to collect money on the street, you know, on the public street for cows going by and stuff like that. And we had to look for a permit. So I presume if you wanted to collect any kind of money on a public street and things like that, either be a beggar or a voluntary group or things like that, you would need a permit first of all. So which obviously means if you don't have a permit, you probably could be arrested. And the Irish courts have a right to peaceful protest or freedom of assembly or on the public road. Yeah, obviously you do, obviously. in the article, but it doesn't say that Leo can take away that at any moment. As Leo said, I can take it away. You know. But sometimes that you get. But yeah, sometimes people talk about the footpaths, people leaving footpaths and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to. I remember in the town the other day. Just take for example. There was a truck parked on the side road, and I had to go out into the road to get past because there was no space in the footpath to get on the other side to get through because the truck was literally it's a very narrow footpath, and I had to go out to the road. So instances like that, it's understandable. Or even some parts, like take for example near the bus hours there in Cavan, it's notorious at the moment for dogs just shitting on the ground and people walking into it. And excuse my French, but oftentimes I had to clean up the shit. Let's put it that way. And people and kids and all that were just walking through it and stuff like that. So, you can understand why people might just walk on a bit of the road when it comes to that, when that area is kind of known for it. But obviously people can peacefully assemble and stuff like that. You can't stop people from that. Looking at the phone, I get annoyed. Yeah, some people just don't be watching what they're doing at all. Like I've seen many times people just looking at the phone and not watching what they're doing, and then they're walking the dog shit. I've seen that happen about 20 times in my career, and people just walk straight into the dog shit because they're too busy on their phone and they're too busy in their own head or whatever. Like I'm always watching what I'm doing, like around me. I'm always aware of what's around me, and what's coming in front of me and stuff like that. You always have to be kind of aware. But yeah, I've seen them multiple times. Particularly people just texting and looking at the phone or looking at TikTok, just out of it. And people with headphones too, they're oblivious to what's going on. Yeah, what they get wrongfully arrested. Like that fellow there was probably taking out a lawsuit against the PSNI now for wrongful detainment, and they get thousands out of it. Probably £100,000 maybe out of it. Maybe £200,000, out of it for wrongful detainment, wrongful arrest. And damage or whatever, etc., etc. And a fast lane, there should be, yeah. Like, did they actually come to speak of that? Yeah. No, I actually can't remember. I was going to say something, I can't remember. I was going to say that now. We'll probably go in a few minutes' time, but anyway, we'll be here for another minute or two. I only said I was going to do 30 minutes, but you're lucky we're here now. So there we are. But yeah, now people have to be watching what they're doing now on the road. It's the same when you're driving the car on the footpath too. You have to watch what you're doing. You shouldn't have to, but particularly the dog shit again. As I said, you never know because dogs are scared shit anyway, and people don't pick up the dogs. The fuckers like that. Me fuck. Yes, scooters too. Technically, you're not really allowed to have them on the road. Technically, you're not allowed to have them on the road. But but I think they're bringing in legislation about technically you're not allowed. So, because you probably most likely probably will make you. Eamon Ryan said before at one stage that he wants people that have bikes and things to pay tax and insurance. So when you get rid of your diesel and petrol car, you have to pay for your bike. You have to pay tax and insurance to the government. That's the do. Because obviously a lot of people be like, fuck this, I'm not paying anything. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing that. I've often seen people in foreigners doing that. They don't have a clue what way the road is going. You can park for 15 minutes. And what town are you in anyway? Just for example, park for 15 minutes free, which is a good idea. Like on the street, or we talk about the car park, or where we on the street, or where? In the town, they make you pay. They're going to make you pay. You can't park anywhere in the town. But obviously in Bullis Bridge and Ballyhills and towns outside of the main town, you basically allowed to park, and you can tell you have to pay for it. In the big towns, but not the small towns. On the street here, maybe. Yeah, it's only in big towns to do that. Cavan only do it in Cavan Town, Cotell, They don't do them about October. You can power them about October anywhere you want. You know, you do a pay a penny. Whereas Baileybo, I think does it do. Yeah. Yeah, Baileybo. It might be Kingsport too, can't well, this is the best part about Seven Crossings. The Warner Brothers Bridge here. And people don't stop, but they just fucking fly through it at 100 miles an hour. And they never stop for anybody. So, you know, they're kind of pointless in a way too. They should have probably cameras on them too. Because it is in the law that you should let the person cross the road. You should stop and let the person cross the road. That's what it says to do. But in reality, it doesn't work. Because there used to be a lollipop man in the town there at St. Fairham School, where I'm talking about at the moment. But they got rid of that. The council got rid of it. They didn't want to pay another man to do it. And since they got rid of the lollipop man, there's children waiting 5 to 10 minutes nearly to get across the road. Because the cars won't stop to let them across. You know, during the rush hour traffic in the morning and stuff like that. But they should have brought another. I even said it 100 times. They should have employed another lollipop man. They had it there for literally about 60 years, a lollipop man, and they were like, no, after your man retired, we're not taking on another fellow to do a lollipop man. And he, you know, at least they would have been safe, you know, because he would stand out in front and he would stop the cows with his stop sign and stuff like that. Now they just have to. It's basically whenever a good person comes along in the car and says, "I'm going to let the children cross the road," which is very few and far between, right? A lot of people just fucking fly on, and the children are waiting there for 10 minutes because they're afraid to cross the road because they're only junior infants or, you know, first class or second class, and they wouldn't just barge in front of the cows. Often I just barge out in front of them in the level of the thing. Because I have big vest on me, you know, the local authority, you know, but it can be dangerous, yeah. I often find it sometimes myself in some of the level crossings and stuff, and separate crossings and stuff, it's dangerous. You know, it is dangerous, even for when somebody's fucking lit up with fucking big reflector jacket on them, and a big reflector, you know, trousers. You know, you often wonder if they see you at all. Georgia Maloney's actually doing very well. A lot of people like her in Italy. Even though she promised, you know, she wouldn't let more people come in to Italy, but sure. Apart from that, you know, people are happy enough with Georgia Maloney in Italy. But apart from that, people are not. That's the only complaint people can have. Because she's kind of fighting the electricity companies and stuff like that. She talked about a windfall tax, and she's kind of fighting them into oblivion. And she kind of fighting Macron too, because remember she was on about France exploiting Africa and stuff like that. What did they do? Obviously they exploit the former colonies. So they kind of help a bit, you know. But there's no such thing really as that. I never see another lollipop man since that man retired. Anywhere in the country. I don't even know if there's lollipop men in Dublin or something like that. Yeah, I've seen that, yeah, in Italy. But apart from that, people are happy enough with what she's doing in economic terms and stuff like that. Because she does have a lot of popularity, you know. She's very popular with the Italian public. You know. But she did, as I say, she did fight the electricity crowds up in fierce, and the media were fierce upset about it. Because they were going to tax them 15% or something like that, a windfall tax. And the media had a meltdown, and the country said, oh, the far right are at it again. She's worse than Mussolini, that's what they were saying. And she was going to, you know. But did you see Georgia Maloney too with Elon Musk a few months ago? She was such a big fangirl. Like, the two of them actually looked like they made a good couple, to be totally honest. I don't know if you've seen that. And yeah, there was a thing I seen on Twitter. Something like 92% of people in Hungary, young people, own their own property, own their own house, basically. In Ireland, you know, it's 92% of people have their own place, you know, and it's something like only 10, so maybe 12% live with their mother and father, you know. In this country, 68% of people live with their parents, because they can't afford a place. In Hungary, it's different, but Oh, I remember, yeah, him too. But the media absolutely fucking despise him. They don't like Judge Maloney at all. Because literally straight away, as soon as she was elected, before she even done anything, they were like, she's worse than Mussolini. That's straight away what the media were like. Even though, again, let's be fair, Mussolini has done awful things in Italy and in Ethiopia and Libya too. You know. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Finland and Denmark and Sweden. But the one thing we have to understand, it's a whole different society in Finland. But take for example in Denmark, there are actually some kind of government that actually gives a shit. I think to be totally honest, let's put it that way, because it actually seems like Finland and Denmark and Norway. Not much so much Sweden. I wouldn't really go to Sweden at the moment. Stockholm is not looking that good. But you know they kind of care a bit more about their citizens. Over here, they just don't give a shit about you. Let's put it that way. You know. Well, to be totally honest, I don't know. The media doesn't seem to like anybody nearly at all. You know, I don't think they like themselves, to be totally honest. Because I think they just hate everybody. Anybody says anything remotely against the government, they're just like, these are far white dangerous Nazis. You know, that's literally what they say straight away. Well, unfortunately, you know, I suppose you have to go to Jeffers. We all get free houses, yay! But where's all the money going to come from? Who's going to build the houses? Who knows? They just randomly turn up. Well, I think the media hate everybody. You know, they hate anybody that isn't feeling for being again. And the Greens, obviously, if you annoyed the Greens, they're just like, well. Like, the media literally goes up in fierce in defending Eamon Ryan. Like, the Green Party, the best thing is to slice bread. You know, and I always agree with them. And anytime anybody ever raises objections, and they're like, eh. They're still ghost estates. They're just lying there. there's no money to do them up. Let's put that on. There's one. There's actually, well, I wouldn't even call it a big ghost estate. It's only about 4 houses in Cavan that they never done up. They never done anything with it. So. But what's a woman? Sorry, you have to explain what's a woman first, Johnny. What is a woman? That's the question I have to ask Owen Breen. What's a woman? Because he doesn't seem to understand what's a woman first of all. Before he talks about building houses and all that, you know, you have to get the basics right before you move on to let's build a house, let's build more houses, let's do this. You know, you have to understand, you know, when you ask the simple question, what's a woman? Before you ask how are you going to build the house, where are you going to get the people, where are you going to get the money to it, you know, how many are you going to build and things like that. Before that, you have to ask what's a woman, and you know, generally wouldn't get an answer. But yeah, Owen Breen doesn't seem to know. But yeah, who we need to stop all the boats, right? We need Norma Foley as Prime Minister of England. Because let's be fair, you see her face straight away, you're just like, nope, I'm not going near it on a boat. You know. Like, let's be fair, imagine Norma Foley as Prime Minister now instead of Richie Sunak. Straight away, people be like, I want to stay in France, I don't want to go near England again. Like, imagine that, they'd be terrified. They'd be mortified. Yeah, but Owen Breen doesn't know what a woman is. I don't know if people have seen the video. Yeah, it's basically a video. It's a video up there. If you look it up on Twitter, I say you probably see it. I don't have a link to it, but it was on. Where did I see it? It wasn't Grip Media though. It was some woman there. It was some protest out to the door and got talking to him. If you look under his tweets, a lot of people on Twitter only bring tweets, a lot of people, we post the video under his comments. Say, ask what's a woman. Hello, assassin and your mum. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Good to see you. As long as we were talking. See, I haven't been live as much as I used to, so apologies for that. But everything's going well. Hope all is well with you. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. And a good Saturday. But yeah, we'll probably only go on for another few minutes because I'm here longer than I thought it would be. Let's stop with Murray Lou took over. I remember Malcolm McGuinness. Yeah, it's not that long ago. It's about 5 years or so. Malcolm McGuinness died. So there's still no government in Northern Ireland talking about Malcolm McGuinness. There's still no government. They haven't formed a government. And this is the best part of it too. They can't pass budgets and stuff like that for funding and stuff like that because they have no government. That's what's happening at the moment with the roads and stuff in Northern Ireland. They have no government to say here's money and stuff like that. Good to hear, good to hear. And in 2 seconds, I just had the one downstairs for that. Hello, sorry. Sorry about that, I tried to hold the door. I would if there was no government down here. I know, but at the end of the day, you kind of need some kind of government, some kind of organisation, because there'd be nobody passing budgets for different things. So take, for example, the roads and stuff like that. Obviously, the money comes from the local. Obviously, the government give out the money for, so the main government in Dublin, to fund, roads and stuff, infrastructure projects. That comes from the government in Dublin, and the county councils distribute it to groups and look after the local area, their local authority. But it's the government that kind of give the money. Like, say for example, for Cavan and Monaghan, the government will give Cavan County Council, take 10 million and another 10 million to Monaghan County Council to do up rural roads and back end of nowhere, basically. They do them up, tarmac them, do them up, So only for that, they wouldn't have the money to do that 10 million to do up roads for next year, take for example, because they've been given it by the government, Mainly from Head of Huffreys. Head of Huffreys got it for them. So, only for that there would be no money. So basically things would fall to bits if there was a government. It wasn't a government for a long time. Because the funding wouldn't be given out. The local authorities could do a bit, but, at the end of the day, you would need them big money that's coming, like that 10 million and then another 10 million from Monaghan County Council. You would need that, Unfortunately, you kind of would need a government. Unfortunately, I hate having to say it, but you kind of would need some form of government to kind of keep a set of services going. Even though the local authorities could do it, to a certain degree, but you would need kind of higher authority than the local authorities. You need a national government. You need a national government in general. Yeah, Greece is not doing too good, not bossing at the moment. But they've never been bossing, their kind of economy's always been in the toilet. Actually, fun fact, I was watching the YouTuber the other day. Do you know in Crete, the island of Crete, the toilets in some parts of Crete don't even flush. What I mean by don't even flush, when you go to the toilet, right, you can't put the toilet roll into the toilet because it would block up the sewer system. They haven't got the money to get better sewage systems right here. We can put our toilet paper into the toilet and flush it down right. No presto. As long as you don't put too much obviously in. But in Greece you can't even put a bit of toilet paper and you have to put it into a bin beside the toilet. So think about that for a second. And this is in Europe in 2023. Think about that. So so you're down bad when you see that. Joe Biden. What's Joe Biden doing these days? Oh yeah, the funny thing happened to the other day on Twitter. Do you know the White House press secretary, John Biel, whatever you call her? She happened to put out a statement that was supposed to be for the President Joe Biden's Twitter account, and she put it out on her own account saying, "Oh, I was determined during my election I put America first." And this was supposed to go on Joe Biden's account, but she was put it on her account, and again it was very funny because she was like, "Oh, I went president and I done it," even though it's not even her, not even the account that was supposed to put it on it. Also, poor Ryan Tubridy too. He won't be getting any more money. Crying face. Sad face. No money for Ryan Tubridy. He's going to be starving on the street. He's going to be in emergency accommodation tonight. Everybody spare a thought for poor Ryan Tubridy. No, we're not taking that like that. We have fucking too much sewer systems around here. We have fucking down a lake water thing, which is a big fucking thing for, it's a big modern fucking water treatment sector. They spent huge money on it, so it's more modern nearly than some places fucking in Europe because they've done it up and they spent millions on it. So it's basically the highest quality kind of waste treatment water kind of thing going. I don't know how to describe it. Oh, I know, I'm only being sarcastic. Working on your manifesto. Damn, I've been exposed. Buy my new book, €599 from Amazon. It's coming out tomorrow. Interesting. Which my book or what he done back to fiction. What the Biden's trip to Colombia. Oh, the big man will give me a lift. My lovely horse running through the fields. I found a good meme. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the fact checkers when you want them? I need to find them. Where the fuck is it? Sorry, I'm looking for something. I need to find it. I need it. Wait, I wish YouTube was better in finding your videos you've seen. Joe Biden. Let me see. I might not fucking even get it. That was the best thing ever. Biden. Where's the fact checkers when you want them? Oh yeah, here we are. Listen to this.
Let me tell you about the smartest person in my life. As you probably guessed, I'm talking about my son, Hunter, the magician. Sometimes he wanders into the Oval Office late at night and waves his magic wand around in the air a few times. Then he does a little spin and abracadabra. All of this wonderful magic powder appears on my desk. I then said out loud, "Holy smokes, all of that powder belongs up my nose, doesn't it?" Hunter then looked at me with a twinkle in his eye and smiled. He said, "It sure does, Papa. It sure does." So to make my son proud, I gave the magic powder a good sniff. Then I gave it 2 or 3 more sniffs, then a fourth. Before I knew it, the Oval Office was transformed into this beautiful, dreamlike fantasy land. I was then surrounded by warm neon lights. And my
But long story short, this is AI generated, just to say. This video was AI generated on YouTube now. They're talking about Hunter and his little white stuff in the White House. You know. Funny face. Quiet face. Emoji face. Oh, I remember when I was in art class where they do an emoji, it was based. I lost the picture unfortunately, but I remember doing it was based. I don't know where you got it. It's interesting. It pretty much is, let's be fair. A whole lot of them seem to be on something, let's put it that way. I think Joe Biden's not on drugs, but I think he's just demented and he's just old and he just can't remember what he's doing. But definitely Jean, Jean-Pierre and the rest of them are high on drugs because they honestly got. And we call it Kamala Harris. Literally every day of the week, regardless of what in the name of God's going on, she's on about electric school buses. She never can be quiet about it. And literally anybody can ask her a question, she just laugh. So she literally must be on drugs. Kamala Harris. I better be quiet because last time somebody criticized Joe Biden, they said a squad after him. Hello, Greenface. How are you doing? How was your Saturday? I was going to say Friday. It just happens to be, a big train of cocaine comes up, apparently. The Capitol Police happen to find more cocaine on the streets than ever before when Hunter Biden turns up in Washington. It's funny, isn't it? Where's the fact checkers? This is actually false. Back for Focus and Red Bull. Not likely anytime soon now. Bottles of Red Bull. There was actually one very funny story from October the other day. I heard about this. There was a fellow that drank 13 Red Bulls, like the really strong Red Bulls. It's not really alcohol Red Bull, really. It would be kind of alcohol, but at the same time it wouldn't be. Not like vodka or something like that, but long story short, he drank about 12 of them, 13 of them in a short period of time, in about a few minutes. Right, in about probably 10 minutes time, right. And he literally was hopping around the road and he fucking felt like he could fucking move a mountain. So he was literally hopping the roads. Like quite literally hopping. When I mean literally walking down the road, he was literally hopping instead of walking. He was that fucking high on energy. Like quite literally. So you wouldn't want to be him. I don't think you could sleep for nearly a week after, because he was that fucking high on fucking. Even though he could be on drugs, So. But that was Red Bull. That wasn't vodka. If it was vodka, I'm sure he'd be on the ground. But it was the strong Red Bull, I think he said. I never tried Red Bull in my life. But somebody was saying that because he literally was hopping he was literally skipping the streets, hopping around the streets instead of fucking walking the streets. He was hopping the streets. Hello, Cian. How are we today? How was our Saturday? I'll be soon going in a few minutes because I only said I'd be here for half an hour. I turned out to be here from now on 30 minutes. See, I end up talking and never shut up. That's the problem with me. Which is a good complaint, let's be fair. So give me a second. The UFC. Oh, there seems to be a lot of fight going on at the moment. See, is Elon Musk going to fight that fucking Facebook Mark Zuckerberg? Yeah. Is that ever going to happen, or is it just memes? This is all for the memes. Where's the tea? I actually had it before I came on stream. I need another cup soon. I really need another cup soon because my throat's going a bit. Oh yeah, did anybody buy the new Red Dead Redemption port? Not even a remaster. That's what I. Sleep with the part. Funny story, we're not driving or anything, but I actually didn't get any sleep at all last Monday. I don't know why. I went to bed at about 11 o'clock. Didn't get to sleep at all. I don't know what was the problem. I didn't get to sleep at all. And I was nearly on the ground Monday morning. It was that overly tired. So I wouldn't want to imagine if I was driving, you know. Because I struggled to function. Even though I done well to get through the whole work day. And then after I came home, I walked more. So I did well to do it. Because not many people probably could have done it after getting no sleep. But, you know, I could imagine if I was driving, as you say, I just couldn't do it. As simple as that, I wouldn't be able to drive. If I was driving, I would just stay home. Because you end up in an accident, you end up dead. But a Red Bull, yeah, definitely probably would have helped me that morning now. I'm not going to lie to you. Because going by man, maybe 2 or 3. But I say, you know, then you would have too much energy, and then you'd be just hopping the roads all the day. Like, he fucking had, I think, 12 or 13, and he's fucking jumping around the place. Like, I wouldn't want to imagine what fucking 12 or 13 would do to you. Like, if it was fog now, he'd be dead. He'd literally dead in the street. Because I think the reason why he had loads of Red Bull. No, I don't know really know actually why it was the reason he had loads of Red Bull. I thought maybe that they didn't have his drink, but no, it might not been that. But anyway, it was hopping the roads anyway. Because more than one people told me about it. And he was fucking hyper the whole fucking week after it nearly happened. Oh, it definitely is. It'd be definitely. I couldn't imagine. Like, I'm just thinking myself Monday morning. I was dead, literally on the floor. Not dead, but you know, half asleep, nearly all day. Like, imagine if I was driving, I'd be out danger on the road. But there's people that don't have good night's sleep. Sometimes I have a good night's sleep, sometimes I don't. I don't think I ever drive, but we'll see. I don't think I'm much of a good driver. I'd be too slow in doing things on the road. Like, if I had the tone or something, I'd take a second to register in my brain. I'd be a few seconds behind. So. Anyway, I don't think nearly you could afford a car. Imagine paying for a fucking car nowadays in Ireland. Because I know young people now that have taken out loans and stuff like that out of the banks, and they won't pay it back into the bank. And they're probably 20 now, right? And they probably won't be able to pay it back into the 40 or 50 before they get paid off the loan for some cows. And then the mothers and fathers are paid for the cows in some cases, and they have to pay the mothers and fathers back. And we're talking about, you know, what I'm trying to say is the wages that half of the young people are getting in the country at the moment, they're getting fuck all, you know, basically, and they never pay back, you know. A government employee, I know, but there's more higher civil servants than me there's people in the local town getting 2,000 a week that are surveyors and engineers. There's an engineer and stuff like that getting 3,000 a week. You know, compared to, I'm only on 400 and so a week. Compared, and then there's people on 650 a week, and then there's more in between and stuff like that. So there's higher jobs in the local town. Oh, we know, but let's be fair. Eamon Ryan will soon be knocking. He'd be knocking and saying, "That car is not electric. We're going to take it off the road off you. If you don't buy an electric car, you old banger, be gone. You won't be allowed to drive it after 2030." Eamon Ryan says so. So that's what would happen after I would assume. So I would have to get rid of the car and buy an electric car, which would fucking have to take out the credit union, have to take out a loan, and you'd be there for the rest of your life. That's what I'm saying. But that's what they want to do in this country. It was 3 weeks ago, Cavan Inn. It was 3 weeks ago. It's it's way gone by now. Cavan. It was Cavan calling the call. Technically, that Saturday was Cavan Day, technically. But Cavan Collin was getting for 3 days, and the kind of the Boomtown Rats done a concert, and a few other things. But yeah, it worked very well. People enjoyed it. Hello, Seba. How are you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Apologies about my throat. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit funny. It's just that talking for a long time does that to you. Those days are gone. Well, I don't know. I say they would probably knock. I know a few local politicians around here. They will always come knocking. They will always be at the door. There's one or two of them that always will come on. They're the old style. Whatever, but the new politicians, But a lot of them be afraid to come nowadays. But I know one or two of them in Cavan would always come to the door now. They're the old school. But imagine, fun fact actually, I was watching the Finnish elections when they happened in April there. And politicians, this is the funniest part about it. You nearly wouldn't think there's an election in Finland until during April. Because they didn't even go, the politicians didn't go around to the doors. They don't do that in Finland. They don't go knocking on doors. They never did. They've never been the country to do that. That's never been the tradition. Or they never put up posters and stuff like that. They would have public events. That's the way they're going to do have in the local market square. That's all they would have. That's all they would do. Like the SDLP and stuff like that. They wouldn't go knocking on doors and things. And they never did it. It never was done in Finland. And they don't put up posters. Where every time there's an election here, they fucking plastered every pole in the country posters. Even though they don't need about 100 posters on one pole. They do that everywhere in this country, but in Finland it's never heard of. It's 1 or 2 posters, big posters like on billboards or something like that, but nothing too over the top. So if we were something like that too, it'd be handier. We wouldn't have to look at the politicians. So, the long story short, excuse me for my long story. But no, I can get what you're saying. I don't want to see a bit of them, because that's the only time you ever see them when they're looking for something off you, and then they never see them again. And obviously this time, a lot of people are not going to be very pleased with them. Let's put that way. Say nothing to him. Oh, where's that evidence? But no, I just thought I'd mention that. But let's be fair, the posters, election posters, they shouldn't have as many as they do. Just talk about elections and stuff like that. Shouldn't be. But yeah, this year a lot of politicians won't go around to anybody's door. They'll be too afraid to go around. And to be totally honest, they kind of should be, to be totally honest, because a lot of them have kind of proven themselves to be the biggest fucks going. So they kind of proven themselves. So, a lot of politicians will not be getting nice responses at the doors this election cycle. Well, the local town elections first. A lot of them be given a good telling off. That's what I'm. You can't get at them anymore. Yeah, pretty much too. It's the same in Cavan too. Sometimes the whole constituency office, sometimes, but a lot of them don't. You know, you have to wing them or by email to talk to them. But a lot of them still do. You know, in fairness, them they do. But some of them don't. A lot of the younger ones don't really want to do. The older fry, as I would call them, they would be the type to do in-person meetings and stuff because they always did it. So you know, that's always been the way. But for the younger generation, they kind of just like no, you know, they're afraid to meet people. Clone 1000 Danny Healy say wouldn't understand him, first of all. I often get it how to understand what he's saying about it. He goes into a tangent sometimes, like myself sometimes, but with a big Kerry accent. First of all, anybody that has Healy Way is going to get elected. First of all, there's not a doubt about that. They just get elected. They literally don't even have to do anything. They just get elected. I remember Danny Healy Way a few years ago. He went for election and he only put his name forward a few hours before the ballots went out, right? And he still got elected. So you know they just kind of win everything. There's not a doubt they won't get elected. You know, in the next all-out election, there's not a doubt. Yeah, I get the gist, but sometimes you go and you get absolutely annoyed about something and you wouldn't make out heads or tails of what has happened. But he's right in the majority of things he says. But I always get the gist of it, yeah. I know a Cavan accent, they wouldn't understand me. I do, when I was sitting there with Matthew McGuire and all them now, there with the World Independence. Giving that fuck to the people over the other side saying, oh, you fucking useless pricks. That's what I'd be like. Like, it's definitely guaranteed they'll be elected again. That's literally guaranteed, 100% guaranteed that Danny Healy, Michael Healy are going to run away with it. You know, in Kerry, like that's the always do. And probably Carol Nolan too. I can't remember where Carol Nolan came in the last election in Offaly Laois. I can't remember. Anybody know about Carol Nolan? When did she come first, or was she? You know, how many votes did she get or whatever? I can't really remember. Yeah, in the Midlands, Offaly Laois it is. Yeah, I can't remember. Did she get in the first count or what was happening? I can't remember. But I presume she'd get elected. I don't see why she shouldn't get elected. But definitely probably Matthew McGuire will get back in too, so we won't have to worry about that. You can call me Home Mountain and Nazi again. So. But I don't know about Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, it's not busting for them. I don't think any of those seats are safe. We don't answer. Or the Green Party, I don't think Eamon Ryan it's going to go well for Eamon Ryan, let's put that. I say to you, Eamon Ryan, I don't agree with the story about climate change at all. We should put on that video from Danny Healy Way. A few years ago, very good. He's from my town of Cavan Inn. Jeez, that was a good spin. Which people before Papa? Which one? What time of people before Papa? We go on a few. We'll stay for another 10 minutes and then we tip on because I have a few things actually I need to do anyway before I go to sleep tonight. Aye, he be in, yeah. Not looking too well at the moment. I don't know how people before profit's going to do it. Like, let's be fair, the Labour Party are not going to do any better than they usually do. They're just kind of going to get hammered again. Yeah, in Cork, yeah. That's the Cork, yeah. Michael McMartin would be what do you call it? Blah, 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 blah. He would be Cork TD. Also, randomly here, but congratulations to Brendan Faye and his wife, the 17th wedding anniversary, just to say. Congratulations to them. I just seen it there. He's down actually, the devil. He's down having a drink. A lot of people lost power too last night too. I didn't. 14,000 people had no power. That's good. It's always good. Like I just want to say to people too, for the local authority elections, to make sure you're registered for your local authority election. Obviously, you can register with your local authority, or check the register.ie. So make sure you register the photo. You're up to date with your photo status. That sounds like your vaccine status. No, don't take that way. On the go. No, we don't have any music on the go today, unfortunately. Last time we were live, we did. We didn't have anything on the go, but I do have a playlist of relaxing music, not like ambient music, but more relaxing music, kind of, you would call it. But you would call it probably that too, but you know, that's what I would title it. But like, I have so much in my playlist of it. Like, it's the PlayStation music in the background. I have on because I have my PlayStation 5 on. What should we do with a drunken sailor? What should we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way and up she rises way. Yeah, that's the PlayStation 5 kind of menu. That's the PlayStation 5 menu here. That's what's in the background. Even though we probably should have put on music. It was actually going to, I think. And I probably said no, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's what's in the background. Sorry, it's just in my PS5. It's literally just there in front of me. So I had that on before I went live. I was watching the YouTube video and then I was like, I'll go live. He was too tired and he asked Stephen to go live. I came home. I don't know what came over me when Hello, Angus. That's not even hello, but I live in Cavan. I live in County Cavan. Yeah, I've seen it. I've actually heard that before. It actually is pretty bossing. But what's pretty bossing, the most bossing music living, is the San Andreas track. Without a doubt. Oh, I seen that on the PS5. Yeah, I seen that advertised in the PS5. I don't know much about it, but I've seen it advertised. But that's the San Andreas theme song is the most bossing thing imaginable. GTA San Andreas. And then obviously Red Dead Redemption 2 is just bossing. Also, there's a new High 4 DLC coming out. High 4 DLC coming out. Guess what country it's from? Guess what whereabouts in the world it's for? Let's put that into the country. Anyway, we have another 5 minutes before we tip on. There'll be 2 hours live. Yeah, Finland's a part of it, but yeah, so Scandinavian. Japan already has a focus tree in how to survive info. Like, geez, it'd be bad. It's a World War II strategy game. Like, imagine if Japan didn't have, content for a World War II strategy game. Every time I play How to Survive 4 and I play Japan, I always get dived because the United States literally bombed me into oblivion. Quite literally. Margaret Thatcher. Does that look like Margaret? That look like Margaret Thatcher. Oh Jesus, that's Margaret. Blah 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 blah. You know, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It's not busting. I tell you actually, for one thing, if that Margaret Thatcher actually was Prime Minister of England at the moment, there'd be no boats going to England at the moment, let's put it that way. There'd be no boats going to England, let's be fair, because she would take away their milk. She'd take their milk and everything away from them. That's actually true, because Margaret Thatcher, I'm sure to God, wouldn't let boats just randomly turn up on the English coast every day of the week. Like, let's be fair, she would urge government to fucking do something, or she do something. So. True. These are the facts that I want to know. But Margaret Thatcher, I never heard the like. Margaret Thatcher's on your wall. Oh no. But yeah, so High 4's getting a new DSA for Finland. So it's going to be pretty bossing. Seymour here and stuff is going to be in it. And we're going to have Carl Gustav Mannerheim. And then obviously Sweden, Norway and Denmark too. Imagine trying to hold out as Denmark and Hearts of Iron 4 with the German Fairmark after you. So, that's going to be dangerous. 6 hours will last. It only lasts 6 minutes in the game. Yeah. My eye, doctor, please. My eye. So yeah, anything else before we go? Because we're literally just about to go in a few minutes' time. So, anything else? I put your glasses on. Also, I have this one. I took it out at one stage. A straw hat. But howdy, partners. How you doing? I'm from Texas. I'm an Irish Texas man. I've loads of oil. I made a cigarette. I made a pipe, and then it'll be great. So, but yeah, I have this out. I don't think I might need it for now on. Do you think the sun will come back? Because I think it's going to win. So, So, I don't think it's going to bust too much. No. Yeah, it's actually very rare. Years ago when I was young, every shop you would have went into in the summertime would have had straw hats. Nowadays you can't find them. You literally can't get them for love of money in Cavan. Anyway, what's happening here now? Just check that. So, I don't know what you're talking about. I never met the woman. Probably Bill Clinton. With that hat, hey, I'm going to all the fails. Yeah, and Britain today too has, I don't know how to phrase it, but the birth rate has got the most lowest it's ever been in about, I don't know, a long time, hundreds of thousands of years anyway. They said in Britain and in England for that. The hat suits you, even though I rather my detective kept my what do you call it? Other cat, wherever was it? I don't know what to call it. I can't remember how it used to be because let me see, I found it before I go and get it. So anything else then before we go, because after this we be chipping on. Where the fuck do I have it? That's the next question. Interesting, I wonder where I have it. It's here somewhere, but where is it? That's the next question. I might not have it here, that might be anything. No, I don't think I have it here. But I wonder where I have it. It must be somewhere. Probably have it downstairs. Or maybe it is here somewhere. I can't remember where the fuck it is. No, it must be downstairs. I definitely must have it downstairs. Like, it's similar to this hat. You've probably seen me before with it. Is it anywhere here? Maybe I'm looking at it. I probably am looking at it here somewhere. No, it's not here, I don't think. Entering the Cavan Hill sniper. Oh no. Sniper at work signs. That'd be around the place. Cavan Sniper Elite. Same as my bed. Oh Jesus. It's a big conspiracy. You're a Finnish agent too. This is turned into one of these streams. It's been a long time since the last time this went on. The last time it went on was when the picture went up. I think the picture must be up. Must be up nearly 6 months at this stage, like the picture. Even though it doesn't exist, it's just a figment of your imagination. It's on that. Just a figment of your imaginations. He loves it. In the game. I don't know. I think we leave it there for tonight because it's going into one of these arguments. So it'd be interesting to see if it'd be pretty based, not gonna lie to you. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. So thank you everyone. We'll probably be back maybe Tuesday, say anyway. It might be Tuesday. I don't know about Monday, but it might be Tuesday. But hopefully this time I'll be able to put it up on the community post. Yeah, but actually, where am I? What's here in front of me? It's anything. I put a link into the chat now in a second. Give me a second. Oh no, not sure. Sean's starting this now. You give me a second, I'll find something. 2 seconds of it just before you go. Just when you're here. I put it in the chat. Just give me a second. I'll get the link to it. It's something really important. It's going to blow your mind. In the game. I was not in real life. If my chat would load on my phone, it'd be great. If it would fucking please, thank you. That might be it there. Yeah, that's it. Rightio, chat, there's something for you to watch anyway. We'll wait another minute just to see what people have to say about it. Because everybody's on about it. We see, but we click that link anyway. And see. We'll wait another second just to see what people have to say about it. Even though I'm probably going to get dogs abuse. Dogs abuse. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there, but make sure you check I've lost connection there for a second, so yeah, but make sure you check that link out in the chat. It's these Russian spies. They're trying to stop me from live streaming. You know. So yeah, take care, everyone. Good night, and let me just see. Well, what's happening here now? It's having a bit of a fit. Let me see. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, it wouldn't come up there, the option to end the stream. So take care, everyone, and goodbye.